Samuel de Champlain was born in 1574 in Bruges, which is on the western coast of France. Although Champlain wrote a lot about his voyages and later life, little is known about his childhood. He was likely born a Protestant, but became a Catholic as a young adult. Champlain's earliest travels were with his uncle, and he ventured as far as Spain and the West Indies. From 1601 to 1603, he was a geographer for King Henry IV, then joined Francis Grave de Point's expedition to Canada in 1603. The group sailed up the St. Lawrence and Saguenay rivers and explored the Gaspe Peninsula, ultimately arriving in Montreal. Although Champlain had no official role or title on the expedition, he proved his mettle by making uncanny predictions about the network of lakes and other geographic features of the region. The following year, Champlain was chosen to be a geographer on an expedition to Acadia led by Lieutenant General Pierre de Gois de Monts. They landed in May on the southeast coast of which is now known as Nova Scotia, and Champlain was asked to choose a location for a temporary settlement. He explored the Bay of Fundy and the St. John River area before selecting a small island in the St. Croix River. The team built a fort and spent their winter there. In the summer of 1605, the team sailed down the coast of New England as far south as Cape Cod. Although a few British explorers had navigated this before, Champlain was the first to give a precise and detailed accounting of the region that would one day become Plymouth Rock. In 1608, Champlain was named the lieutenant to de Monts, and they set off on an expedition up the St. Lawrence. When they arrived in June 1608, they constructed a fort, which now known as Quebec City. Quebec would soon become the hub for French fur trading. The following summer, Champlain fought the first major battle against the Iroquois, cementing a hostile relationship that would last for more than a century. In 1615, Champlain made a brave voyage into the interior of Canada, accompanied by a tribe of Native Americans with whom he had good relations, the Hurons. Champlain and the French aided the Hurons in an attack on the Iroquois, but they lost in the battle and Champlain was hit in the knee with an arrow and unable to walk. He lived with the Hurons that winter between the foot of the Georgian Bay and Lake Simcoe. During his stay, he composed one of the earliest and most detailed accounts of Native American life. When Champlain returned to France, he found himself embroiled in lawsuits and was unable to return to Quebec. He spent his time writing the stories of his voyages, complete with maps and illustrations. When he was retained as a lieutenant, he returned to Canada with his wife. In 1627, Louis XIII Chief Minister Cardinal de Richelieu formed the Company of 100 Associates to rule New France and placed Champlain in charge. Things didn't go smoothly for Champlain for long. Eager to capitalize on the profitable fur trade in the region, Charles I of England commissioned an expedition under David Kirke to displace the French. They attacked the fort and seized supply ships, cutting off necessities to the colony. Champlain surrendered on July 19, 1629, and returned to France. Champlain spent most of his time writing about his travels until, in 1632, the British and the French signed the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye, returning Quebec to the French. Champlain returned to be its governor. By this time, however, his health was failing, and he was forced to retire in 1633. He died in Quebec on Christmas Day in 1635.